BenQ has sent out their TreVolo U Bluetooth speaker, but this isn't just your average Bluetooth speaker. This is a little bit more. And honestly, Bluetoothing is maybe not even its strongest suit. Let's go ahead and talk about that. So this is the TreVolo U from BenQ. That's, of course, a Bluetooth speaker, but it's also something that you can use for your conference calls, for your Zoom calls, for regular video conferencing. This has a microphone built in and some hidden perks up its sleeve, including the ability to detect the environment and change your sound parameters, as well as detect how far you are from the microphone to give not only you, but your listener on the other side the best audio quality possible. So when you open up your TreVolo U, you do have a few accessories. One being your 4-prong 3.5 millimeter jack, and the reason why it's 4-pronged is this is an option for you to be able to not only use it for audio, but use it to use as a microphone as well. So you can plug it up to your laptop or desktop or whatever via the 3.5 millimeter jack and use that for audio and microphone. And then of course you have your power brick to charge it with. It doesn't need a constant power source. It does have a battery inside, so it is portable, but you do have this here, a power brick and a USB Type-C cable for two reasons. One, of course, charge it with on the back side of the TreVolo U, but it also acts as a means of update. So if you have a software update, which you will when you first open the box, you can easily download the BenQ link. It'll take you through the download steps to install the update, and it'll transfer it from computer to the TreVolo using that USB Type-C. The TreVolo U has some soft touch buttons on the top here. Far right is your power on and off. You'll press and hold to turn it on and to also turn it off. There are some LED indicators on the top that lets you know charging status. If it's charged, it's green. If it's charging, it's red. If it's blinking red, it needs to be charged. So there's some different LED indicators on the top there. Bluetooth also is on this option, of course, Bluetooth speaker. So you'll press and hold that to start your pairing, and it doesn't take but a second to pair it up to whatever device you want to use. It'll flash blue when it's in pairing mode. Then you have your volume up and down here that also double as a mic mute button. So of course the positive is volume up, negative volume down, but there is a icon for a mute button, so you can press and hold on that volume down button to mute your mic. Now there's two symbols here that we may not be familiar with, and those are your sound parameters and the ability to detect where you are in the room. So the little squiggly snake line there is actually your near field sound profile. It detects how far you are from the TreVolo U, also detects how loud your environment is, and then perfectly sets it up for you so that you can hear and the people who are receiving your call can hear you as well. So it takes the atmosphere, takes all the noise, and tries to give you the best chance of hearing everything clearly, and also setting you to the right volume level to make sure that it's not too loud or too soft. And then the head there with the icon over top of that, you have some sound modes. You have music mode, listening mode, and learning mode. And we'll talk about those here in just a second. So only thing on the front here with the blue side, of course there's speakers that are built in here, the TreVolo logo as well, but you have your mic and your sensor that detects your atmosphere, where you are in the room and how close you're sitting from the TreVolo. So the microphone is actually the one on the right here that's going to take your voice in and make sure that it's coming through clear. The left side there is what's going to kind of measure the room and see what's best fit for your parameters as far as your voice and listening needs as well. So the TreVolo U actually comes with an app that you can use to find and configure your TreVolo. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on here, and I've already connected it before, so it knows which one's mine. The TreVolo U 1B3F. So we're going to hit connect here, and it's going to connect to the TreVolo, and it's going to open up a lot of different options as far as configurability goes, and also tells you when it's time for an update, which we will do off camera. So this is your home screen you have on the TreVolo U. It shows you your battery life, it shows you what device or devices are connected to it, and then it shows you what current sound mode that you are in. Now let's talk about these sound modes, and I'll give you a demo of them as well. So this is the music sound mode that it says it's best for learning through music. Learning through music. So if what you're watching, whether it's for a kid and they're doing some ABCs and it's for a music learning ABC video, you can use the music mode so that it comes through much clearer. It gives you a more bass presence, makes your voices are clear, and gives you the best chance of hearing, not only for learning, but of course for Bluetooth as well. Now you can tap that and you have video learning. This is best through learning through video. So if you're watching YouTube or you're in a Zoom meeting, you can switch it to video learning and it'll change the sound parameters to best fit for the voices to cut through. So what this one does is kind of cuts down on the bass. It lowers the bass and kind of ups the treble response. Now I found this one to be the best for music, but we'll talk about that in just a moment. The third one you have is live learning mode. This mode is best for learning through live class. So if you are in college and you are online classing, then you can use this to listen to your teachers or your other classmates when you're all in a group and help separate voices so they come through clearly, both male and female. And this one really takes away from any low bass or mid-range bass at all. It is literally only 4 voices. So I'm going to go through my Bluetooth and I'm going to play a song and I'm going to show you guys what the different sound modes sound like.
I could sit around and wait all day. You lay easy on my mind. Like a candle I just burn away. All we really have is time. All we really have is time. I don't wanna waste it on anybody. Take it with anybody.
Alright, so let's talk about those different sound modes. Music mode is supposed to give you the best representation in music through learning, or this is probably what they suggest you use when you're listening to it as a Bluetooth speaker. And me personally, I think music does not sound good with music. I think the video learning mode is the best one. If you guys could notice, it was the loudest. It had the most clearer sound. You lost a little bit of bass, but it sounded better because it just sounded really bloated or muffled on the music learning, which is a problem. If you're going to be using this mode for actual learning, you may have an issue with clearing those voices out through that muffled sound. So I actually like video learning for music playback if you're going to be using this as a Bluetooth speaker. Now, I didn't really favor the music mode at all for anything. It does sound better than the live learning. Again, live learning is literally only 4 voices. It completely wipes out everything that isn't a voice. So any mid-range bass, any instruments, anything music-like, it is gone. It is really just for a conference call where it's just you talking or listening to somebody else. So my favorite mode is video learning. I think it sounds the most clear and it presents a really nice forward sound so that when you are listening to either music or a voice, they sound as clear as possible. So this is my favorite learning mode, is the video learning mode. I think this will be probably the most used mode out of all the modes. Now, I do see a use for live learning if you maybe are listening to somebody who has a lot of kids in the background, they're playing instruments or whatever. You can't really phase out your background on the other side of the camera. Well, I think this mode will do good with dampening some of that background noise that you hear from the other person's, from the receiving side, so that you can have a much clearer presentation as well. So live learning is really good for one-on-one conference calls or a Zoom meeting, something like that. Music mode, it's not really good for much of anything. And then video learning is probably the most clearest and cleanest mode overall. Alright, so in closing, guys, what do I think about the TreVolo U? I think as a Bluetooth speaker, it's not that great. There isn't much low end. Even though this is very heavy, it's really good size. You would think it would have some oomph to it. It doesn't sound bad in the video learning mode, but overall, it's not a very loud speaker, so you don't want to use this, on the side of a pool or something, but in your home where it's geared to be is probably the best place to continue to use it. But I give it a 3.5 stars out of 5. I did do a video conference call with a friend of mine and said the voices came through clear, and it did come through really clear for me. And I think how loud it gets is made for a normal call. You're going to be sitting next to this most likely, so you don't really need the volume to be very loud, but this is called a Bluetooth speaker, so I do expect a little more volume if I choose to use this as a portable Bluetooth speaker. So with that being said, 3.5 stars out of 5 is my vote. I will have it down below in the description box with a link so you guys can take a look at it and see what you all think. And then, of course, leave your comment down below based off this video. What do you think about the TreVolo U? Is it worth the price? I'll leave it down in the description box so you guys can see that price tag. With that being said, 3 stars out of 5, 3.5 stars out of 5 on TreVolo U. It does have some room for improvement, but overall, it's not a bad speaker. It has some really cool quirks. So thank you so much to BenQ for sending this out for me for a review. Again, link down below in the description. Hit that like button and subscribe if you are not already. We will see you guys in the next video. Keep this guy out. Peace.
Say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down.